Hi everyone, my name is Ron. Welcome to the OpenLMIS demo videos. This is the 8th in our series. In this video we're going to look at how a logistician uses the information that has been cached on his tablet or laptop as part of managing a distribution. Recall, a distribution is a push or inform-based replenishment cycle. In our last video we walked through the process whereby the logistician plans how to load his truck when he's about to go out on a delivery run and then initiates the distribution, which means all the data that he's going to need and the forms that he's going to need to collect data while he's visiting the facilities all get cached on his laptop or his tablet. Let's assume I'm now the logistician out in the field. I'm about to visit a facility so I can resupply them and record data while I'm in the health center. I'm going to go to record data for the distribution that is cached on my laptop, and we're going to select one of the facilities that is part of this distribution. You'll notice the different colored dots beside each of the 4 health centers that are part of this delivery zone, and you can see the key over on the right here that explain what each of these colored dots or status indicators mean. They indicate that for 2 of these health centers we have not started entering data, and 2 of them are at least partially completed. Prior to starting this particular video, I did go in and enter some data so we'd be able to step through the forms quickly as we work through the process. Let's go to the Morris Dispensary, and you can see here now a list of all the different forms that I have at my disposal for entering data while I'm at the healthcare facility. These individual forms also have the same status indicators, the same colored dots with the same meanings. And this particular form is partially completed. It's yellow indication. I've gone in and filled in some of the data. Let's see if we can finish this off here. Observations while I'm here, no stockouts in the last month. Performing well. We're glad to see that. And let's add the license plate number for my vehicle. We'll just make something up here and note my visit date. And at that point the form has been completed. You'll notice the status of this particular form has turned green. Let's continue down the list here and enter information about the piece of cold chain equipment there. What was the temperature when I arrived? Have there been any problems? Yes, in fact, there were 2 high alarm excursions, fortunately no cold ones. Was it working properly when I left? Yes, that all looks good. I can commit that information. The status of that form has now turned green. The Epi inventory screen is a record of what was the inventory status when I arrived and when I left. You'll notice I've stepped through most of this form by simply checking the NR boxes, which means not recorded. I've left a couple of them open so we can walk through those real quick. You'll also notice fields that have not yet been completed have a red circle around them to draw your eye to them so you can see where things need to be entered. Let's say there were 3 on hand when I arrived and I delivered 3 more and there happened to be 1 spoiled. I should be able to close the format now. It has not turned green. Here's a field that I missed. 0 spoiled. Now the Epi inventory screen has turned green. That one is completed. Hippy Use records how different antigens were used over the course of the last month since my last visit. Once again, I've gone through and checked the not recorded box for most of these fields so we can go through them quickly, and I filled in 1 line here. Let's fill in one last line here real quick just so we can see how this goes. Stock on hand, there were 66 doses at the beginning. We delivered 50 more. They distributed 57, let's say. A loss of 5, and that would leave 64 at the end of the month, and the soonest to expire vial that they have on hand at this point is 2015. That completes this form. Its status now turns to green. The full coverage screen summarizes how many children, male and female, completed their entire vaccination regimen in the past month, and how many of these were completed at the health center versus part of a community outreach program. We'll just make up some numbers real quick here. That completes that form. The child coverage screen and the adult coverage screen provide summary information about vaccinations administered by type to different demographic groups. Here too, I've clicked the not recorded box for most of these so we can get through this quickly. Let's just say that I administered 6 at the health center. I did another 6 at part of the community outreach. It's been a very busy month. There was also 2 in this group and none in that group. And the last thing it's going to ask me to enter is how many vials were opened. Let's say I used 1 vial, and the system is now computing my wastage rate. It's also still waiting for me to enter the number of polio 10 dose vials that were opened over the past month. Let's say I used 2 of those, and so it's computing my wastage, open vial wastage rate for those. That, by the way, now completes this form. For the adult coverage form, we collect similar information for the kinds of vaccinations that are administered to various adult demographic groups. I've NR'd that entire form for expedience so we can get through it. You'll notice all the forms that are relevant to the particular health center we're at are now green, and correspondingly the status of the Morris Dispensary Health Center has turned green. I can look at it here on the list and say, sure enough, that one is green. It has been completed. I've gone through all this real quick because I'd like to show you the process for syncing data back to the server once the health center has been completed. So let's assume that I'm at the hotel room for the night and I do have connectivity, and I'm going to now sync the data that I have entered thus far. I'm going to click on the sync button. This assumes I am now connected to the internet. If I'm not, the system will say, we're not connected, please confirm your connection. And you'll see here, it's going to ask me to confirm. Once I upload the information, I can't go back and revise it. And done. Morris Dispensary. You'll notice the blue dot. We can go back and double check the meaning of that blue dot status indicator. Sure enough, that indicates that that particular facility has been synced, and I can see it here now. The status has turned to blue. Next morning, I'm going to get in the car, get in the truck, head down the road, visit the next health center, replenish them, and collect all the data related to that using all the forms that are cached here on my laptop or my tablet. And then I'll sync them when I get to a place where I have connectivity or when I get back to the office at the end of my distribution. This concludes video number 8 in our series. This is the last of our demo videos. We hope you have found them informative. We would welcome any questions you have. Please contact us at info@openlmis.org. Thank you very much.